whistle in my hair. Oh, shut up. You're all just jealous. Greetings, the world of the internet. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and welcome to Squirrel Talk Review. Disney is continuing with its ever-popular trend of, if it made a popular movie, why not make a series out of it? And I guess there's worse choices than Tangled. The characters are likable and a blast to be around. What a delightful concept for a show. My initial complaint, though, is Disney loves their happily ever after. So, most of their movies don't exactly end with room for sequels and series, and let's be honest, Tangled was one of those. But just look at this. It's beautiful. I like this storybookish look to the characters and environments. It's like I'm watching a fairy tale unfold. So today we're going to check out the Disney Channel movie, Tangled Before Ever After, the kickoff to their series.
This is the story of how I died.
Seen it? So we get a recount of the movie by Eugene. You know, just in case you haven't seen it. Seriously, this is a good movie. Definitely watch it. And for a history lesson, he does a good job of getting the most important points out and keeping it interesting.
Then, the princess was rescued by a dashing, steely-eyed, suave, smoldering, devilishly charming rogue.
Thus our adventure begins with our heroes outrunning their own guards. Are they making a break for freedom? Are they just screwing with them? What's going on here? Bunnies! Well, we never find out what all of that was about, because once they reach the Great Wall of Corona, they exchange some playful banter and their bodyguards tell them it's time to go home. I guess it was just a game.
It's just a game!
If you're not a player, you're a pawn.
Thus we get our first song. It's a Disney movie. Of course there's songs in it.
This is life after happily ever after, and it's all just as sweet as the stories say.
It's okay, but more importantly, we meet Cassandra, the new lady-in-waiting. All the markings of a pain in the butt stick in the mud, making sure Rapunzel dresses properly, wears shoes, act properly, wear shoes, on time for everything, wear those stupid shoes, yada yada yada. But informally calls her...
I'm glad you think so, Raps, because this welcoming ceremony is just the beginning.
Are you allowed to do that? She is the princess. The musical continues as we meet the father and then get to know Eugene a little more.
Whoa, Helmut, my man! This hat ties the whole outfit together. Now I know what you're all thinking. Why is Eugene in such a good mood today? I mean, what gives?
No, actually, I was wondering why all these low-life rascals are allowed to wander the castle freely. And when exactly did these two become so close?
This whole time we've just been misunderstanding one another, and we're really just... Yeah, you're right, we should go.
Now that I've gotten the dream that I chose, why does my world feel so small?
Lady, you lived in a small tower, in a small grove. How exactly does this castle and all this free running space feel small? With the song finally over, we discover that evil is afoot, and we meet the main villain, the dreaded Lady Kane, and her loyal associate, Mr. Rat, and, this guy, hench guy number 2, 'cause, obviously, Mr. Rat is the favorite. Let's cut back to Rapunzel, who's welcoming foreign dignitaries, and after traumatizing...
So nice to meet you.
and insulting her guests, we cut to later that night. Wait, hold up a second. Do-do-do-do-do. Couldn't resist. Eugene and Rapunzel have a moment as Rapunzel continues to complain about that she wants more out of life than being a princess. You know, that thing that every princess complains about. But come on, how many times do I have to say this? You were locked in a tower for 18 years. You went from being a prisoner in your own home to having a whole kingdom to explore. Really, what more do you want?
But believe me, I've been all around the world, and it doesn't get any better than this. This castle, our friends, your family, each other. What else could you possibly want?
Nothing.
She tries to spend a day out on the town, but that doesn't go so well thanks to some overzealous guards. But never fear, that Cassandra has the cure.
You know, if you really wanted, I could get you in and out of here before anyone even knew we were gone.
Is this coming out of nowhere? I think this is coming out of nowhere, because up to this point, Cassandra has been by the book strict about everything Rapunzel was doing.
You mean sneak me out? Exactly. What you do when no one's looking is your business.
Yes, you know what? This is coming out of nowhere. Where is this coming from? But we don't have time to sneak out, as she needs to attend a banquet in her honor, where Eugene gives a very lovely proposal.
From the moment I first met you and you knocked me out with that frying pan.
Ah, yes. Good times.
I can't wait to laugh with you and share with you. I see us raising our children here, and our children's children, and celebrating banquets of our own in this very hall for many, 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 many years to come.
Can I get an awe from the audience? Aww. But due to that ever-wanting more princess disease, Rapunzel flees the scene, and instead decides to take Cassandra up on her offer.
Whoa! Where's the war?
Well, when your dad is captain of the guards, you tend to collect stuff.
She's kind of scary. An awesome kind of scary.
I have a feeling this is gonna be fun.
So they're off into the night, and we take a moment to see Hench Guy number 2 gathering more minions.
See, 18 years ago, the princess was taken from Corona, and it was because of her the king unfairly cracked down on all those he considered undesirable. Us.
Like criminals and bad guys?
This is a revenge story.
So you're taking revenge against the king for doing a crackdown on crime 18 years ago. That's a really long time to wait for revenge. If you don't have a good revenge scheme, don't needlessly complicate the plot. I think someone needs to educate these goons how to have proper motivation. Fortunately, I have Villainy 101 on cassette. Let me just see if it'll work. Let's see here. Cross-screen wire, put that there, plug that in, and... Darn it! We go back to Rapunzel and Cassandra on their epic adventure into the night.
Max? Yeah. And when he heard I was sneaking you out of here, he insisted he'd come along.
I guess she speaks horse. Also, hard to believe that the prestigious Maximus would approve of a midnight escapade. Theme song time!
Seems like I've spent my whole life hoping, dreaming of things I've never tried. Tangled in
Nothing all that memorable, but it's alright.
Whoa, Max. All right, this looks dangerous. Can you stay here and watch Fidela for me?
No, how about we don't cross over the dilapidated bridge over certain doom? Of course, they cross it anyway, and they find this spike ball thing over here.
Don't know. They just kind of sprouted up here about a year ago. And watch this. You might want to stand back for this one. Wow. They're unbreakable.
And what a waste of a good sword.
Touch the spindle. Touch it, I say.
And now they're being chased by killer spikes. Because that's a thing. But that's not the only magical thing transpiring. They continue their escape, and her hair gets caught in 3, 2, 1.
Cassandra!
But they're saved with some daring action by the coolest horse ever. If I ever get the horse, I want that one. Now safe from killer spikes, their last obstacle of the night is to sneak back into the room. This seems legit. Very legit.
Just cut it.
What's the matter with these scissors? The thread won't cut.
We're gonna need a plan B.
But plans B through F don't turn out any better. And what's more, Eugene bursts in to discover the new development.
This is new. I mean, no, not new, right? Because we've seen this. Obviously, that whole magic thing is involved again. It was magic, right? Actually, you know what? You don't need to tell me. I'm just going to go ahead and say your hair magically grew back.
I must say, he's taking this rather well.
Or else you wouldn't have tried to hide it from me. So I won't ask how it grew back, but tell me, please, how did it grow back? Don't answer that.
But it's decided to keep the magic indestructible hair a secret, forcing Rapunzel to wear a very fashionable wig.
Already into the princess spirit. The bigger the wig, the better the princess.
Seems legit. While dad and daughter have a moment, we see the villains enact their plan to use one of the oldest tricks in the book, get captured on purpose to get into the prison. I mean, they're not even trying to be subtle about it. Let's just go see what Eugene and Cassandra are doing.
Oh, come on! What is going on with Rapunzel? I mean, is it something I did?
Probably.
And since when did she start keeping secrets from me?
Hey, Fitzherbert, I need to get this done before the coronation, so do you mind throwing your pity party someplace else?
Look, Cassandra.
Okay, this is a complaint about the series I have. While I admire them for trying to have Rapunzel and Eugene in a stable relationship, and they do have plenty of sweet, touching moments in this movie, but that fades away as the series gets rolling. Most of what I've seen of the show involves Rapunzel and Cassandra going on an adventure, or Eugene and Cassandra getting into mischief, with the third party off doing their own thing, and occasionally crossing paths with the others. It's like they're scared to keep these two in the same room for too long, because they either don't know what to do or scared as to what might happen. Having two characters come ever closer together emotionally without any form of will they, won't they drama? Absurd! Blasphemy! Who's ever heard of a main character in a healthy, stable relationship? Also, when you don't let your main couple interact enough, well, let's just say I start seeing more chemistry between these two. Ugh, I feel like I'm watching an affair happen. I know, it's the last thing Disney would have intended here, but still. Mom and daughter have a moment.
I was so much like you. I had no idea what I was supposed to do in this world. So I went out and found my own way.
Where she pretty much gives her permission to sneak out. And thus, it's coronation time.
I look like a marshmallow with feet.
But it's time for the villain to make her move, as it turns out that snobbish aristocrat is secretly the dreaded Lady Kane, and she wastes no time in springing her fellow thugs from their cells.
I'm gonna need you to step back into that cell, pronto. That there is a nice suit.
He looks good in a suit.
And storm into the banquet hall where the dreaded Lady Kane unveils her monologue of revenge.
You see, after your untimely disappearance, your father locked up every criminal in the kingdom, including a simple petty thief. My father.
Yeah, her father had every right to steal other people's property without any form of punishment. What kind of world are we living in where criminals are punished for their crimes? What? Is this the whole reason for your revenge? Your father broke the law and got arrested? Princess kidnapping or no? If her father had been falsely accused or framed, that would justify it. But no, she admits he was a criminal and got caught. Think this villain can't get any more pathetic? After all this time in the shadows, blaming Rapunzel for everything and wanting revenge, she decides at the last minute, screw taking Rapunzel, she wants the king. Yeah, she was all set to just leave Rapunzel behind, the girl she despised and blamed everything for. So if your beef was only with the king, then why the heck did it take you 18 years to enact this little plan of revenge? You tried to make this villain a badass and complex, and what you did was overcomplicate her. Why couldn't you have stuck with a simple kidnap princess to get ransom bit? Don't throw petty revenge into the plot unless your character is insane enough to sell it. Instead, we get this whiny brat with a half-thought-out and predictable plan. But wait, think she can't get even more pathetic? When Rapunzel unleashes her indestructible hair on the villains, which, by the way, wasn't she wearing a big poofy dress a moment ago, the pathetic Lady Kane goes toe-to-toe with Cassandra and gets her butt whipped as easy as 1, 2, 3.
You have no idea who you're dealing with.
No, I think we've got a pretty good idea of who we're dealing with. And Eugene and Rapunzel do a fine job of mopping up the rest of the useless goons. Okay, fine. It was one of the best quotes in the movie. Play it!
Oh, Mama, I have got to get me one of these!
You think this is over? Ha, I promise you, I'll be back!
Dead? Okay, not dead. But we never see her again. Good thing, because you go down as one of the most pathetic Disney villains in history. In the aftermath, Rapunzel and Dad try to connect more with mixed results.
Rapunzel? There's something I need to tell you.
I am your father.
And the show ends with her singing the theme song once again, officially kicking off the series. So that was Tangled, Before Ever After. Now, how do I put this delicately? It had its good moments. I suppose my opinion is being swayed a bit by the series. It's trying, and it looks pretty, but overall, I don't think it stands out enough. For the most part, the characters are likable, but maybe a bit unbalanced or unfocused. The plot had its entertaining moments, but it also had its predictable, cliched ones as well, with plenty of plot points that, let's just say, weren't thought out all the way. But, while not the best that Disney has to offer, it's certainly not the worst out there. It's colorful, the characters are memorable and delightful, so overall, definitely more hits than there are misses. So if you want to check out Tangled Before Ever After, then go ahead and go for it. I am the Great Matthew Squeak, and this is Squirrel Talk Review. I thank my loyal subjects for watching. Please like and subscribe to me. Also, please donate to the channel on Patreon. Also, enjoy the holiday season.